Hey there, family. It's been a minute. That's okay. That's an understatement, but still, it's been a minute. First off, thank you for tuning in to the Scruffy Nazarene podcast again. I am sorry. It's been a good long while since I talked to you guys and since I've been here on the air. So, you'll have to forgive me if I'm a little bit rusty at this, but you know what they say, if you don't use it, you lose it. But it's just, there's been a lot going on, right? There's been a lot of things that have happened. And first off, I want to start by saying, I'm still praying for you guys. I still love you guys. And we have not stopped, the podcast. It is going to continue on like it has in the past. Some things are going to be a little different, but we will get back to having regular episodes, probably sooner rather than later. Just some things have come up. Life has happened. You know, stuff happens, but just kind of give you all an update. I was sick back in November when I should have been recording our, Ruth episode of the Bloodline of Grace podcast or series. And so I recorded it. Didn't sound right. Sounded terrible. And I'm not even just talking about audio wise. I sounded really bad. Didn't feel good. Was trying to push myself through it. And so I didn't post it. And we got really busy. We had revival at the church that we were at that point, and I'll come back around to that here in a minute. But we had revival going on that week or that next week, and so we were really busy with that. And I had promised to smoke a couple of turkeys for that for the meal, right, for that first meal right after our Sunday morning service of revival. And so I was firing up my smoker, and there was an incident. Your boy tried to set himself on fire. That's putting it my way. Okay, I didn't try. I succeeded. I set myself on fire. Got some pretty nasty 2nd-degree burns on my left hand. Singed part of my beard off. I'm trying to grow that back at this point. Not nearly as scruffy as I was when I started this podcast, but you know, hey, it's hair. It grows back. Ruined a good pair of jeans. I was really upset about that. Ruined a good jacket. I was really upset about that. I really liked that jacket. But I was working on trying to heal up from that. And then right after that, my family and I, we went down to visit Miss Scruffy's family in Arkansas, where she is from. And so we had, you know, time with family, and then the holidays hit and everything got really busy. The other update that happened was we were called to another church. We are no longer at the church we were serving at in, you know, our little hometown of Columbia, Kentucky. Little country boy, Scruffy Nazarene, is fixing to head to the big city. We have been called, and I am now serving on staff at a Nazarene church in Louisville as the discipleship pastor. I'm still working my day job as a cellular engineer, but we are also currently commuting back and forth to our church that we are serving at on Sundays. We've been there since the first week of January. You know, so after the part of why a lot of things didn't get done in December, after we got back from Arkansas and visiting my Mrs. Scruffy's family, we were wrapping Christmas presents, or rather, I should say, Mrs. Scruffy was wrapping Christmas presents. I am banned from wrapping Christmas presents, but that's a whole story in and of itself, spanning about 5 or 6 Christmases, and several ER trips and sets of stitches. But I am banned from wrapping Christmas presents. And so she was wrapping Christmas presents and went to put one under the tree and tripped and sprained her ankle very severely. Now, at the time, we did not know it, but we found out later that the sprain was so severe that she had actually had a minor tear in one of the ligaments in her foot. This fall also triggered a 3-week migraine for her. And so we spent 3 weeks with her laid up in a walk-in boot and in a dark room, essentially. Migraine was not breaking. It was not coming down. And so that's honestly why nothing came out of December. And then like I said, in January, we have started serving with our new church. On top of all of that, we have, I have been going through classes. I have not stopped taking my classes through Brazil Bible College for ordination. And I have not stopped taking classes. My employer is paying for me to go back to college as well. So I'm taking 2 college level classes at a time at 2 different college level institutions for 2 different things, might I add. So life has been hectic. Of course, and also raising teenagers. My oldest Scrufflet, she has gotten her permit, and that really makes me feel good about myself. But life has just been happening, life has just been going on and things have been really busy. And I also realized that I needed to step back and figure out what I wanted this to be. Because anybody that knows me knows that when I decide to do something, I jump in both feet first, no lifeline, no parachute, no life jacket, nothing. I realize I'm mixing swimming and jumping out of an airplane or base jumping or whatever, but at the point stands. No safety of any kind. I jump in both feet first. And that's what I did with this podcast. I started trying to make this podcast look like something that I don't think God was calling it to be. And I want to clarify that. So I was attempting to push it out onto social media. I was attempting to basically use it as a full-time ministry job position type thing, right? I was trying to make it be a full-time thing, but I had no intent on monetizing it. I had no intent on doing anything with it outside of just trying to spread the message that God wanted me to spread. And I was trying to do too much. And so it's going to look a little different this year. Things are going to change a little bit. You won't see as many videos coming out. Of course, the podcast episodes will still be put on YouTube, so there will be video technically. But you probably won't see as many fancy or high class videos, probably not as many devotions or, things of that nature. We'll still put the study guides out for the podcast on the website, but they may be a little different. Obviously, there's not going to be one for this episode, but we're deciding on what we want to prioritize. And while I believe that God was telling me to do this show, God was telling me to spread his word and be faithful. I was trying to do it in a way that he was not telling me to. And so, to that end, like I said, it's going to look a little different. There's going to be some changes. There's going to be some changes in production and how things are done. We're just going to have to see what that looks like. But all in all, we are still chasing after Jesus, and we are still chasing after what he wants us to do. And we are still praying for you, family. So to that end, I can't be a pastor without spending a little bit of time in the word. I don't want this to just be me giving you a life update. And so I'm going to, I want to go with you, or I want you rather to go with me into John chapter 1, right? We're going to be in John chapter 1 tonight. And I'm going to start in verse 35, and I'm going to read through the end of the chapter. It's about 20 verses. But I just want to invite you to come and see. Come and see. So, starting in verse 35, John chapter 1, it says, "Again the next day, John was standing with two of his disciples, and he looked at Jesus as he walked and said, 'Behold the Lamb of God.' And the two disciples heard him speak, and they followed Jesus. And Jesus turned and saw them following and said to them, 'What are you seeking?' They said to him, 'Rabbi,' which translated means teacher, 'where are you staying?' He said to them, 'Come and you will see.' So they came and saw where he was staying, and they stayed with him that day. And that was about the 10th hour. One of the two who heard John speak and followed him was Andrew, Simon Peter's brother. He first found his own brother Simon and said to him, 'We have found the Messiah,' which translated means Christ. He brought him to Jesus. Jesus looked at him and said, 'You are Simon, the son of John. You shall be called Cephas,' which translated is Peter. The next day he decided to go to Galilee, and he found Philip. And Jesus said to him, 'Follow me.' Now Philip was from Bethsaida, the city of Andrew and Peter. Philip found Nathanael and said to him, 'We have found him of whom Moses wrote in the law, and the prophets also wrote, Jesus, the son of Joseph from Nazareth.' Nathanael said to him, 'Can anything good be from Nazareth?' And Philip said to him, 'Come and see.' Jesus saw Nathanael coming to him and said to him, 'Here is truly an Israelite in whom there is no deceit.' Nathanael said to him, 'How do you know me?' And Jesus answered and said to him, 'Before Philip called you, when you were under the fig tree, I saw you.' And Nathanael answered him, 'Rabbi, you are the Son of God. You are the King of Israel.' Jesus answered and said to him, 'Because I said to you that I saw you under the fig tree, do you believe? You will see greater things than these.' And he said to him, 'Truly, truly, I say to you, you will see heaven opened and the angels of God ascending and descending on the Son of Man.'" I love this passage because it is just absolutely indicative of Jesus's entire ministry, right? So this is just the calling of the first, 5, 6 disciples, I think, that we read about in there. I think there were 5. It talked about the two, one of whom was Andrew and Peter, or one of whom was Andrew, and then talked about Peter, and then it talked about Nathanael and Philip. So like the first 5, right? And the thing I love about this is Jesus's invitation is always come and see. You don't know what's going on? Well, come and see. Come and see what God can do for you. Come and see how God can change your life. Come and see what kind of miracles Jesus can create and do for you. Come and see how he can change your life, how he can change your opinions, how he can change the world. So my invitation to you is open your scriptures, chase Jesus, spend time in prayer, and then come and see what Jesus can do. Come and see how Jesus can move in your life. Come and see how the Holy Spirit can move in you. Come and see what God has done. That's my invitation for you. I make the same invitation to you that Jesus does. Come and see. Come and see. I love you, family, and I'm praying for you. This is the Scruffy Nazarene, signing off.